Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Girard-Perregaux Sea Hawk II reference 49900. You can see and purchase this automatic power reserve dive watch on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full listing for this watch with additional accessories included, high resolution images, and naturally full pricing details for the Sea Hawk II diver. Now on my wrist, 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters, you can see that this is a large sports watch. Although nominally measured at approximately 43 millimeters, the true measurement across diagonals of the case is about 43.5 millimeters. Now, the timepiece is remarkably slim for its size, only 13.5 millimeters thick. It's wonderfully slim, low, and because it is so close coupled to the wrist, it's a good match for a tighter sleeve or dress cuff if you are the type to double up your dive watch with your dress attire. Now, from lug to lug, it's big. Again, 42.5 across the round of the case, but the span across the wrist with the bracelet attached is actually 57 millimeters. So this watch does have a wide stance. It's very impressive in that respect, and it feels all of a piece extremely substantial. Now, in terms of where Girard-Perregaux fits in the pantheon of watchmakers and what would be considered a comparable, to give some perspective regarding where this watch sits, this is a watch that deserves to be compared to a 6-digit Rolex Submariner. It deserves to be compared to a Blancpain 50 Fathoms or a Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Compressor diving model, the models that were later supplanted by the Navy SEALs. It's in that class of upscale diver. It's decisively above even the in-house caliber Omega Seamasters, just in terms of fit, finish, and hand assembly that goes into it. I don't mean to slate the Omegas in any respect, but they're simply not handmade watches to the extent that a Blancpain or a Jaeger-LeCoultre or a Girard-Perregaux would be. The Rolex comparison is simply for the sake of giving you an impression of the solidity of this watch. Now, in terms of the bracelet construction, it's gorgeous. Like the case and the movement, it is made by Girard-Perregaux. It's a 3-link design, subtly tapered, polished on the outside, satin down the center. Now, it has a double deployment, which I like, works well on a smaller wrist. It is friction fit, which I don't love, but in practice, I haven't seen any issues with these bracelets. Not as secure as a clamshell, but again, I haven't seen any practical disadvantage. It's also wonderfully low profile when closed, with the GP denoting the partition point of the bracelet. On the underside, awesome ergonomic finish. You can see how it's scalloped out with broad channels between the links, so it won't pinch skin, it won't pull hair. Solid case back, that helps to endow the watch with a 300-meter water resistance. Now, you'll also note that the watch features a rather elaborate combination of case and bezel finishes. Satin on the flank, polished on the top. There's a matte finish atop the bezel, neither satin or polished, with polished knurled portions to set the beads of the bezel apart. It has a very satisfying detent. Sounds great to the ear, it feels great in the hand. It's exactly the kind of dive bezel that completes a high-end dive watch. Just as a bad one can ruin the experience, a great one is the signature of quality. It's what enthusiasts look for. Likewise, this watch has a fantastic dial. Now, the luminescence is good in the dark. Because the individual indices have small plots of lume, it's not super easy to see them. However, it is super easy to see the broad and fully lumed hands. So although the indices are rather faint in the dark, you can nevertheless easily make out the time. And you can see just how pronounced those hour and minute hands are. Now, what you'll also see, and I'll keep the crown out for that purpose, is that the watch features a power reserve scale for its 46 hours of autonomy. This is a very practical feature for a dive watch, as the constant seconds indicator, which is statutory requirement for an ISO 6425 diver, will tell you whether the watch is running, but if the watch is about to drop dead, it's good to know that too before you put your trust in something as a backup dive timer. If there's even a chance that it could become your safety equipment, it's great to have that power reserve scale right on the dial so you know how far your watch is from drop dead. Now, there is a date in its unconventional but characteristic Girard-Perregaux location of 1:30, and yes, it does feature a quick-set function. The caliber inside is the GP033RO, extremely thin and fine. It's in the class of watches, or rather watch calibers like the Zenith Elite, the Jaeger-LeCoultre 889, and later 890 series. Very slim, far slimmer than something like a ETA 2824 or a Rolex 3135. Very slim, more in the league of something like a 2892. And it's part of the reason, in fact, it's the majority of the reason why this immense dive watch is less than 14 millimeters thick. Handsome, full-featured, largely handmade, and beautifully finished. This watch is all Girard-Perregaux. The watch is movement, case, bracelet, and clasp. Manufactured by Girard-Perregaux, which deserves to be in that class, with well-regarded independents like Jaeger-LeCoultre and Zenith, and Glashütte Original, a real hidden gem. And the Sea Hawk line, since 2002 in this Sea Hawk II style, is really underappreciated. It's a connoisseur's watch. It's a gem that's lying just below the surface, to use dive parlance. You can see it and you can purchase it on our website.